Oh, actually, one last thing we can find today. If we just put together as a group, we have anybody else? Fantastic. So welcome everyone. We're going to be talking a little bit about the history of this building just before we, just so we know what we're talking about when we talk about this building. This building houses the legendary area of place and constituents. We'll be talking in detail about that a little bit later. About over 13 years. They've been on this property for even longer. They've been here since the 1850s. The birdcages were designed not by an architect, but by a civil engineer who wanted to be an architect. The qualities are not many people here, so that's the best man for the job. Now sadly, his idea of fashion was a little bit misguided. His idea of fashion was to take all of the different fashions of the time and cram them together into these buildings. So we're very much in fashion. Then he paired it with Tudor-style planking and Italian villa style. Also, were not very functional. They had no insulation, which was an interesting choice for the Canadian climate. It meant that no matter how much they tried to heat them during the winter, there was always going to be a few days there where it got so cold in those rooms that the ink would actually freeze in the ink pots. And it was an anonymous competition. The result of that anonymity was that they hired somebody they weren't entirely comfortable with. Now, even he realized that because he was so young, they probably wouldn't want to trust him with a huge amount of money, the huge budget necessary to actually build these buildings. They already worked with them, including a very famous architect at that time known as Lockwood. He was very candid with he was developed, and Lockwood was on his deathbed. Not a lot of time for collaboration with the story, just hours before they had to be pressed, that happened to us. And he became quite famous because of this, and so he was allowed to build. You can see a picture over there of the official opening of the building on February 10th, in the actual chamber that we'll see upstairs. Now there's a lot of heraldry to unpack here, so we'll be talking about more pertinent information. If you take a look up at the top, you can see the crowned lion standing on top of the crown. As so does the royal emblem. It's a symbol of the monarchy of England. And having it there in our shields shows that we do respect the monarch of England, Queen Elizabeth, as our sovereign here in Canada as well. Below that, we have the helmet with the mantle of red and white. Now, red and white are, of course, the Canadian colors, the ones that we have in the flag. And being Canadian colors, they represent the two European influences that came together for Canadian culture, Canadian identity. Below that, we have the British Columbia shield. That's this thing right here. Now, we've got a British flag, and it seems a little bit incongruous, but it's there simply because we are British Columbia. We're a British colony for a very long time, so we're used to that colonial past. Below that, we have the sun. Now, it's a poetic and splendor sine occasion. It stands for beauty without end, beauty without diminishment, or idiomatically, that would be never-ending beauty. It sounds more reasonable to our ears nowadays. And that's actually where we get the inspiration for the beautiful British Columbia, the phrase we have in all of our languages. Now, all right, so let's before we go on, if you want to towards the road a little bit more, if you crane your head, you look all the way up to the top, very much what you're creating across the elected officials, visiting heads of state, politicians, diplomats, those sorts of people. Elevator, then must be to your left, and you go through the doors, but the rest of us, we use the stairs. Follow me. BC Liberals. They're middle of the road to a right-wing party. Right now, they're the governing party, the majority party. On the other side, we've got the official opposition, the NDP. That's the New Democratic Party. They're middle of the road to the left-wing party, either party. Now, our head of government, Premier Gordon Campbell, is just the head of our governing party. He comes in. Speaker's Levels is that big button throne chair right there. Now, he is an MLA who's elected by the other MLAs to that position, and he's in charge of running the chamber. So he enforces all the rules, make sure that everybody says what they're supposed to say with the time slots given to them, and what they're polite and civil when they go about doing that. He makes sure that everybody heard. He decides who gets to speak. So, very powerful position because he's putting parameters on the debate and deciding what voices are going to be heard. So, because he is so powerful, we actually ask him to be entirely allowed to attend all his meetings, not allowed to have a real political discussion with their party, even though they're usually elected from the governing party. They spend a lot of their time championing that government. Yes. Not here. We are a conservative party, but they just haven't elected since 1930. No, oh yeah, you can have a whole bunch of them. It's just these are the two we've been elected. There used to be three parties in here so good as elect that ballot anymore. Yeah. That's interesting. I thought there was one of the big because I know it's big in the prairies of that future. Now, what that phrase means, so our democracy gains its legitimacy because the power that it has been given to it by the Queen. Now, in real terms, what all of that theory means is that people sit upstairs and create whatever laws they want, so long as they fall within the Constitution. It's quite like any country we're accustomed to. The difference being we then have to take those laws to the Queen, and she'll verify that they do fall within the Constitution, then she'll say that you can have it as a law. It's called the gift of royal assent. Now, because she's a very busy queen, she's a queen of 16 different countries, she can't be everywhere at once to say yes to all of her laws that will crop up. So she serves that role personally in England, and everywhere else she has delegated the power of royal assent to all the various representatives in these other countries. So Canada, being quite a large country, has a whole number of representatives. On the federal level, we have the Governor General. Her name is Michael Jean. This is Canadian law. He's not saying it's for this law. He's not saying the peace versus law. He's saying it's constitutional for this to be law. That is the thing with the royal assent. Now, both of these windows in this room are gifts to Queen in the history of the building. That one over there was a gift to Queen Elizabeth in 2002, celebrating her golden Jubilee. She was the first Queen of Canada, the first Queen of BC. She gave her name to the city of Victoria. So when her diamond Jubilee rolled around, the city of Victoria, this is how her name V-R. It stands for Victoria. They completely forgot about it. It's actually lost for 62 years. Never been noticed. So it's only dusty down Jubilee down in the basement. And then after 62 years, they were going through some old crates in the basement looking for what they could trash. Any questions about that? All right, but follow me outside. Just one last thing.